covering the world of professional poker.
From the people who know it best.
Gavin Smith.
I just called Doyle Brunson bro. How cool is that?
Joe Seabuck.
And that's my whole point. What do hamburgers have to do with clown?
And Ali Najad.
I'll be just as ridiculous for you there as I am for you here.
PokerRoad Radio. Brought to you by the World Poker Tour.
Yes, an oldie but a goodie on the intros. The PG version of it, I would
like
say.
it.
Hollywood the Cub and the Caveman hanging out with Schronk and Court the Hick Harrington at the Bellagio. We are no longer at the Rio.
And it is
I
like a
love that
breath
music.
of fresh air.
I
Is
liked
really?
it there. I liked it. I thought
liked
it was
it at the
cool,
Rio?
and I liked doing it live. I thought it was
Oh,
good.
no, I like doing the show live. I'm just saying, just in light of, it was a rough month.
It was a
certainly
rough
for us.
month. It was a
It's
rough
so
month.
nice to be in the Bellagio. I've had a lot of success here. I think Gavin's done pretty well.
Yeah.
It's nice to, turn the page. It's
Yeah,
nice
it's
to turn
just
the World Series
Yeah,
page.
turn the page. I like it.
Change
Turn
of scenery.
the page.
Bob
Yeah.
Seger, good song.
Of course, it's still going on over there, just going on without us.
Yeah, well, I mean, and there's actually some stuff to report, and we'll get to that on today's show. We're hanging out here in the Fontana Lounge, by the way, the beautiful Fontana Lounge in the Bellagio. We are going to recap the action over at the Rio and, of course, what has gone down here so far for the Bellagio Cup 4 Day 1B. Of course, all the gaps that we have in our coverage. Check WorldPokerTour.com for all of the latest updates. Also, we're going to play some toss-up, boys. I figure it's time we play a little game.
Yes.
We'll try to get some voicemails, some emails, and, of course, we're going to interview the Lebanese nightmare himself.
Freddy Dib.
Barry Greenstein.
No,
Freddy
Freddy Dib.
Freddy Dib.
We should get Barry to record a drop saying Freddy Dib.
And then we can just have him battle.
Yeah.
Have a drop battle.
We'll have like a freestyle drop.
No, but it would be like Barry Greenstein, and then it'd be like Freddie Deeb.
Yeah, I know, Barry.
All right, PRRadio, PokerRoad.com is the email. 877-836-ROAD is the voicemail. We want to thank everyone who has been on the phone and on the email. It has been a challenge to keep up with you people. You have been so thirsty for contact from us. WSOP Day 5 of the main event happening over at the Rio. 189 players remained to begin the day. Last time I checked, we were down to like 140-ish. Or actually,
Right.
we were down to
way
like
down.
110.
124 or something. Yeah.
110 or something like that, I
92.
believe. Oh, 92 is the latest from Court Harrington.
Yeah.
Nice work over there. Look at the chip leaders here. Why don't we talk about them? Mark Ketteringham, Nicole Lozev,
How
Tiffany
about
Michelle.
Tiffany Michelle in third place with 3.3 million chips?
Wow.
My goodness. I'll tell you what, at one point during the day, Tiffany Michelle had pocket aces, and she was up against Alex Othard. I think you worked for the
Alfred.
Alfred. Okay. He works for the WSOP Academy, used to work for the World Poker Tour, and he had a set of fives. It was like 8-9-5 with a couple of clubs, 8-9 of clubs. He had a set of fives. Tiffany Michelle had pocket aces. He had her well covered, and they got it all in there. And, of course, the magic ace ball on the turn to go set of her set and keep her alive. And now she's in third place.
She's been running really, really good.
Yes, she is in fuego. She is the only remaining female in the field.
There's one other player who's doing quite well in the tournament, Brandon Cantu, and he actually texted me about 4 p.m., and this is what he sent me. He said, Joe, I really actually believe you now that I'm the luckiest poker player on the planet. After he also went through a ridiculous stretch of running unbelievably well, and just flopping nonsense hands after nonsense hands.
Well, was he doing what he was doing out in Bay 101? Because that was my first exposure to the Cantu horseshoe.
He got it all in.
I don't think he can right now because he doesn't have quite as many chips as he had in Bay 101. Bay 101, he was just a steamroller.
Yeah, he got it all in with 8-5 against Ace King. Somehow, all in before the flop for about $1 million. He ended up winning that hand.
And the guy hit his ace.
And the guy hit his ace, and he still won the hand.
Oh, my God.
So, it's the adage, in a tournament, especially like the main event, you have to run good. You have to get lucky,
You see, I think, now my gears have been turning here, guys, and let me know what you think about this business idea.
All right.
But I think that there should be...
Sharks doesn't like it already.
Yeah, that's good. It's good to know that he's giving me a chance here. I think there should be like the Malox barf bag at every table. Like when you take the sickest of all beats, you should have something to puke into. The Pepto-Bismol, brought to you by Pepto-Bismol barf bag, something like that.
And maybe it's just me. It seems like at this main event, and that this could just completely be me, it seems like there's been a lot more suckouts. It seems like every hand I read, it's something crazy has happened. Somebody somehow got it in.
I think it's the same amount. I think you just notice.
You think? Yeah. You think it's just maybe I'm just noticing it more.
Well, it's
this
like
year.
in online poker, guys are like, I take so many more bad beats online. You're seeing so many more hands in the same period of time.
Of course.
You're playing 3 tables. I mean, so it's getting you into a longer period of time. And again, this year's World Series, fields are bigger, getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Right.
And you got a lot of ship it artists out there.
There are a lot of ship it artists.
I mean, when the money bubble burst, my God, did they drop like flies?
Yeah,
it was like we lost one player per 20 minutes.
It's still going, much quicker than last year did.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's been talk. I don't know how late they're planning on playing today, but there's been talk that they may end up taking a day off tomorrow.
That'd be nice
because they won't need the extra day.
Yeah, why not?
I think what they did is they ended up shortening yesterday by a level, shortening today by a level plus, and then they'll probably do the same tomorrow to balance it out. But I don't think they're going to take a day off, probably because ESPN wants the footage to break it into different shows of each day. So they want to make sure they have enough for every day to get a full show out of it.
Well, whether or not you do it, whether or not you do it,
but they still want to be able
days.
to break it into days. It's just their way of breaking it out.
I guess I'd much rather have a day off and keep playing the full levels for a day, that's for sure, than doing it the other way around. Let's talk about the notables that were in action coming into the day. Mark Vos, Gus Hansen, Victor Ramden, Alexander Kostritzen.
Well, a lot of these guys are out.
A lot of them are out, but this is coming into today. Alan Cunningham, Jeff Madsen, Mike Matisow, Hoyt Corkins, and, of course, the last former champ, Phil Hellmuth. Now, who has busted out as of right now that you know of, Joe, from that list of players right there? Yeah, Gus is out. I know that.
Gus is out. Alan Cunningham is out.
No.
TJ Cloutier.
I believe Hoyt is out.
Yes, Hoyt Corkins is out as well. Yes, he is. I know that.
I know Phil's still in. I know Mike's still in. I know Jeff is still in.
Madsen's out.
Kostritzen.
Madsen's out?
Oh, he did bust?
Oh, he busted.
I believe Kostritzen is out.
That's the guy who won the Aussie Millions.
Mark Voss, I believe, is in, and Victor, I believe, is still in.
Yeah, I saw Victor get really fired up. I was over there doing some ESPN work, and all of a sudden in the middle of my stand-up, you just hear Victor Ramden's booming voice echo through the room. I had to stop in the middle of it and do it over again. Apparently he got lucky. So he was still alive definitely as of that point. Now let's move forward and talk about Bellagio Cup 4. Big news. Triple starting stacks on the buy-in. So you buy in for $15,000, which is the main event here. There's 3 starting days or 2? Three. Okay, so day 1B, we're halfway through, play is completed. Yeah, 2/3 through. But why did they make this decision? Did you guys hear about this? Or?
Why?
I mean, what was the logic behind it?
They had 3 starting days last year as well.
No. I'm talking about the 45,000, the triple stack decision.
I actually spoke to Jack about that, and he said he'd been planning it quite a while, and he just wanted.
McClellan?
Yeah, he wanted to time it right because he felt like last year a couple of the other casinos went deep stack right in the middle of his tournament just to try to one-up him. So he kind of just wanted to go tit for tat. I think that's why he did it.
The Venetian's deep stack tournament has been very successful, and I think that's kind of what's driven some of this.
But what is the buy-in at the Venetian's deep stack tournament? It can't be anything
near
they
do
15K.
smaller. They do smaller buy-ins, but they just give you a lot of chips.
Okay, but I mean, is that really going to take any of the crowd who's playing here away?
No, but there's also smaller tournaments here too, and all the tournaments here are now triple stack.
Right.
Interesting. Okay, so he decided to fight fire with fire, I suppose. A little bit of cattiness.
It seems a little overkill. I don't know if triple stack is necessary.
I think it's great.
I think it's great in the 5K and under tournaments, especially like the 2K prelims. Starting with 6K instead of 4K is a huge difference.
Right. Yeah.
Personally, I think in a 15K event, it's pretty much a waste. What's the difference in 30 and 45?
Quite a bit difference. It's quite a bit of difference, and I disagree with you. I think that in the main events is when you want to have the maximum play, and that's when you want to give people the deepest stacks.
Last year's winner, Kevin Saul, PokerRoad blogger and blogfessionaler, unfortunately out.
Yep.
We had a chance to hang out with Kevin over the PokerRoad family dinner that we went to. Was that last night or the night before?
2 nights.
2 nights ago. God, it's all such a blur these days. Let's talk about the Day 1A results. Yesterday started with 104 people. Notable eliminations, including Kevin Saul, were Antonio Esfandiari, Beth Shack. It's amazing that that's a notable elimination. Cloney Cowan. Cloney, how about her, huh? Didn't she already win a prelim here for 5K?
She won the 5K.
I mean, that woman is in fuego.
It's great.
She can't lose on Poker After Dark. She comes over here and takes it down. And she's done decent during the World Series. Right?
Yeah, I guess
some
she did
decent
okay.
cashes.
She had a couple deep ones, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't bad. Unofficial chip leader after Day 1A was Marco Johnson. 230,000 up from his original 45.
That's a lot.
And guess who else? Member of the PokerRoad family. That is correct, Shronk. 135,000 for Big Papa. Did you have a chance to talk to him about his day, Joe?
Yeah.
And anything notable? Was he the suck out artist? Were there more suck outs?
No. He got short really. I guess midway through the day he was pretty short. But he was obviously able to build back up. And there was the famous, sort of infamous hand now with David Williams toward the end of the day.
Okay.
Where I didn't get, I believe the video is currently up on worldpokertour.com that highlights the entire situation. But basically, I don't know all the action. It was a 3-way pot, and it was something, like Barry raised, somebody moved in, David re-raised, and then Barry moved in, and then David called off all his chips, and then there was some supposed discrepancy. David thought that Barry had somehow hid one of his $10,000 chips, or he, was trying to shoot an angle. Which, if you watch the video, it's pretty obvious that did not happen. And at this point, I think David's trying to save face.
Yeah, Barry's about the last guy that would probably shoot an angle.
If there's anyone in poker
he's probably earned the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, that's free. I mean, Barry he is fair to an absolute brutal fault. I mean, he's one of those guys that will hurt himself if it means being fair.
Well, because you know that not everyone else out there who he's involved with, or all of us are involved with, are subscribing to that same level of fairness. Yeah. That's for sure.
So it was a little stupid, of David, I think, to go after Barry. Like, arguably has the best name in poker, perhaps. Now, obviously, it was a situation where it wasn't like that at all. You know, if anything, I think David felt a little bit sheepish about getting 60,000 in the pot with 2 jacks, in a 3-way spot there, where it was pretty obvious that he couldn't have the best
And he was
name.
up against.
He was up. Barry had 2 aces, and I believe the other gentleman had ace king, if I remember correctly.
Always nice, and of course, Bear took the pot down.
Bear took down the pot. Yep.
Yeah, for once.
Yeah.
Right.
Uneventful.
All right. Day 2A, we kicked it off with 133 players. Notable eliminations: Chad Batista, Jeff Lissandro. Ooh. Whew. Now we don't have to worry about getting friggin'
getting
mercenary. Killed. Yeah, exactly. Guy's so scary. Mike Sowers and James Van Alstyne. At last check, the chip leader was, I guess, Brian Kenny. Is that correct? 120,000 in chips, roughly.
Sure.
Guess who else is right there?
It's Bryn Kinney, though.
Oh, is it?
Yep.
Oh, Bryn. I'm sorry. There you're right. Thanks for the correction there, Court. Guess who's there right at number 2? Your nemesis, Joe.
JC is in, but I thought he took a big hit towards the end of the day. Did he
maybe he
back
did.
Up?
Maybe he did. I'm not sure. We'll get Court to pop up in an internet page here.
It says 100,000 on there, but I have a feeling I could be wrong. I have a feeling he's got something more like 60.
You thought that 100,000 was second in chips for today's play?
For today's play, yes.
Well, what about old G. Smith, who's got 117?
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. Or maybe this is just some of the notable stacks we're looking at right here. But in any event, congratulations to you, my friend. Freddie Deeb also in action.
Good
He's
job.
got about 100.
Does it feel good, after having gone through the World Series, to come in here today, finish the day, you've got chips, do you feel like you've kind of like started the new chapter?
Well, yeah, a little bit. But I'll tell you, it was a really interesting day. And I came in thinking, man, I came in feeling good, but then I got off to a good start and then went bad. And between the first 4 levels, I was between basically 18,000 and like 33,000.
Okay, so you lost a bunch.
Yeah, I was low, and I'd taken a couple of beats, and I was like, when is this going to end? I had a guy slow roll me. I was like, when is this shit going to end? Why? What is going on? And I came back for the last level, the very first hand of the last level. I limped for 600, and this old guy named Julian Studley, I believe his name is, makes it 2,000. And I flat call the 2,000, and we go heads up. And the flop comes down 5-3-3.
Yeah.
And I check, and he's known as he's a big overbetter. He always overbets his hands. And I check, and he fires 5,000 in the pot.
And what did you have?
I have pocket 6s.
So, okay.
So I snap call the 5,000, and just see what's going to go on. The turn's a deuce. I check, and he moves all in, and I have 20,700 left.
Right.
And he's got me covered.
Right.
And so now I've got to make a decision with these 2 6s against the pre-flop raiser. What do I do? The board is favorable, but if he's got any pair, like pocket pair, I'm screwed.
Right. Which he easily could have.
He could easily have. And so I sat there. I probably thought for about 5 minutes. I'm looking him down, and his mannerisms were completely different than they normally are. And I don't. Finally, I'm like, I just think that. I'm getting laid 2-1 here. I've got 6 outs if I'm behind, and I just really think that I've got the best hand, and he's just trying to shove me off it. And eventually, I end up calling my last 20,700. And he turned over ace-5 of spades.
Good call.
There you go.
So the 6s stood up, and then that was the time when I'm like, I might have even given a little pump, which I don't tend to do, because finally I made the right play, made the right call, and got rewarded for it. And then after that, it was just onward and upward. I had a woman make it 1,800 out of the small blind. I called her with king, queen of hearts. The flop came down king high, and she shoved for 20,000. So it's pretty hard for king queen to be behind there, and so I snap call, and she had king jack. She had way more than I thought.
Wow, yeah.
But she had king jack, and just decided all of a sudden to just explode, and throw 20,000 in after that $3,000 in the pot or whatever, and then just went sort of up from there. So it felt really good to end the day with a pretty good chip count. If I hadn't called 3,000 on the last hand of the day, pre-flop with the 3-5 of hearts, I would have been tied with the guy who's got the chip lead.
Yeah, nice, buddy.
So Havad actually has the chip lead with 157K.
All right, keep running down the list, Court. Who else is up there?
Arthur Pinkasor, 151. Ty Wynn, 139. Bryn Kinney, 138. Makaya Takatana, 131. And Gavin at 117.
The Asians.
Nice.
JC Tran, 108. And Danny Allah, 107. And Freddie Deeb at 98.
There it is. Court right on top of things. For all the latest chip counts, visit worldpokertour.com. There you can get live updates. And, of course, now, very special video interviews from the floor with PokerRoad's very own family member, Amanda Leatherman. I understand you just did one, huh, Joe?
She's doing a great job.
Is she? She excited?
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm excited, and I think that she is the best at this stuff. You know, I think, like I said, the other day, she knows people the best. The players are comfortable with her, you know. So, I mean, I just think that she's the best.
Listen, I got to ask a question, though, here. Like, you guys went out last night, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because your guys' energy level seems super low today. I mean, I'm.
What are you talking about?
Especially Ollie's. Your energy level is low.
You know what I need?
I'm not happy.
I need a quick commercial break. When we come back from the commercial, I promise to be a more energetic human
this
being.
This is the new Gavin. He is pumped up. He's playing well.
I like it.
He's like, this show needs to pick up some goddamn energy or I'm done with it.
Absolutely.
Right back with more PokerRoad Radio.
The new professional version.
Is that like the remix edition? Welcome back for more PokerRoad Radio, everyone. Ollie with the Cub, the Caveman, the Hick, and Shrunk Daddy.
The Hick.
All chilling here.
How do you call him the Hick?
The Hick, that's his freaking nickname.
Court's name is the Hick?
Where have you been? You know, where do you think that banjo music was just some kind of automated thing? Shrunk is on top of things.
Tell me the truth, though, Court. Is that music that you play with the banjo, is that what you have on the 8-track in your truck?
My truck doesn't even have an 8-track.
Oh,
it's just AM FM.
Are you serious?
Nah, I put a CD player in it, but the original, the original was just AM FM.
Was it one of those ones with the orange vertical dial where you press hard and then the dial goes?
Oh,
sadly enough, it wasn't one of those. That would be nice,
man,
though.
That's hilarious.
That would be nice.
The truck is on life support right now. When I get back to North Carolina, it's got to be worked on.
No.
It's putting out the puffs of black smoke and sputtering, and nobody can figure out what's wrong with it.
Buddy,
I know what's wrong with it. It's freaking old. It's done.
Nah, it's got another 100,000 in it for sure.
Come on,
everything
get a
dies.
new vehicle. Get a new vehicle, buddy.
Oh, that's brutal. All right, well, that's the Court truck news. Why don't we send it now to some poker news?
Bringing you the biggest stories. Or, well, whatever we could find 10 minutes before the show. Poker news!
This is somewhat big news. It may not bode well for humans worldwide. I'll tell you this right now. It is War Games Polaris 2.0. The updated, new and improved version of the same program that Ali Islami and Phil Locke went north of the border to play against, that Locke was talking about when he came on the show, has beaten Stocks Poker. Has beaten them. On the same day Phil Locke spoke on PokerRoad Radio.
I don't even know what the hell Stocks Poker is.
It's Matt Matros, I think.
It's a group, it's a coaching website, including Nick Grudzian, Kyle Hendon, Rich McRoberts, Victor Acosta, Newhizzle, Mark Newhouse, Jay Polanski, and Matt Harlenko. That's Haas TBF. That's
how bad is that for business, though? We cannot beat a computer, but come in, we'll teach you how to beat humans.
Yeah, I know, right?
That's
Math
true.
is idiotic.
But guys, tell me what you think about this, man. They use the same double blind system that Locke talked about, where you get chips and the computer. I mean, you get a certain fixed, hands, and the computer gets the fixed hands, and then you flip flop.
I think the most important thing in this it is limit poker. It is not no limit poker, because in Phil spoke a little bit about that. The games are completely different. And, I believe that no machine's ever going to be able to play no limit as well as a human. Now, limit is more of a math-based game. Very, very, very much so. So I think that certainly is worth noting, when you talk about something like this.
Gav, what are your thoughts? Do we need to improve the race as a whole? Do we now need to go in and genetically engineer better poker players?
That goes without saying.
I don't know.
I think you're forgetting that the computer is programmed by a human. It just means that programmer can outplay that group of people using a set formula.
I
disagree
you that's
that
wrong.
500 million%.
Yeah.
The programmer, I'm sure, would get his ass kicked if he actually sat down and played poker.
Absolutely.
And it was like 13 different people that made the program.
Yeah, I mean, the computer's winning because based on algorithms and based on, rules that it's being told to do.
Right.
Based on the math game. But the programmer himself is not going to be able to play
you got to remember,
way.
when Andy Beal came to play the big game with those guys, and he was kind of trying to use a system. He had a little clock there. He was trying to use a a betting system and whatnot to beat them. And you know what? He did beat them for a little while.
Right.
But then eventually he got beat. I'm sure that if
and
the
then
Stocks
they figured it out.
I'm sure that the Stocks Poker boys go back and play the computer again. They'll beat them next time. So I don't think this much. I don't think that's nearly as big a news as our man with the funny hair thinks.
Your man with the funny hair thing?
Yeah, you got some funny hair going on.
No, this is. You don't
I'm
like
into
the hair?
the new hair. No, I like the new hair.
I don't like it.
I like
Thank you,
the Sonic.
Joseph.
It's the Sonic look.
It's the Sonic the Hedgehog look. Don't
Yep.
hate.
I
Gavin.
I don't like it.
All right. Well, I'll take that under review.
Okay.
Okay, I've done so, and now it's done. All right, guys, emails and V-mails. We got one in here. Should we play the little intro thing? We love that little intro.
Oh, I like that.
Now who the hell is this? Emailing me at 11:26.
I don't like the second part.
No, but I love that first part.
First part rocks.
Maybe we should just make it the first part.
Yeah.
Because
The
we've
first part.
edited this thing so
I
many
have been
times.
saying that since day one.
I was going to say, I
Just
feel like we
stop it
went
there.
back in time a couple months. We were sitting at this exact same table at the Bellagio when we tried this out the first time, and everybody said that.
We've
Yeah.
come full circle, my
Yeah.
good friend. We've come
Who the
full
hell is
circle.
this?
At
I
11.
love that.
Emailing me at
All right, Matt Ryan
11:26.
emails us in,
Yep.
and he is saying that Jeff Mattson has finally paid off. Finally. Now, it's not quite how you might expect when you hear the word payoff, because Matt's bookie had some futures on the WSOP on his site, and for whatever reason, Matt decided to take Mattson at 250 to 1 to make the final table. His
Of the main event?
$50 bet will be paying out $12,500 if Mattson makes the final table.
Sorry, Matt.
Yeah, it's probably not going
Sorry,
to pay off.
sorry,
Turns out-
Matt.
turns out he
Sorry,
didn't
Matt.
pay
Bad
off
news.
after all.
Bad
Yeah.
news. Your bookie just got you for 50 more.
Yeah.
Well, we wanted to break it to you directly here. We wanted to still give your email some justice
Sorry,
and then
brother.
bring the pain
Sorry,
by
brother.
letting you
But
know.
you know what?
that was the
I'll be
case.
honest with you, Matt. I was rooting for him too.
Yeah, of course. We all were.
You know
We
what?
all
As
were.
long as
I know you were.
the 9.1 million comes with a belt, then I was rooting for him to win, because that is a man more in need of a
Oh,
belt
to pull his goddamn
than
pants up.
any human I've ever seen. It's seriously.
Isn't there like?
Didn't we stop sagging in like 7th
Yes.
grade?
And isn't there a rule that once you hit a certain age, that is just not acceptable?
I thought so.
I think the government should have snipers all around the United
Why
States.
doesn't someone
and
talk
take
to
those dudes out?
Why doesn't someone talk to Sorrel Mizzy then too? Because he's exactly the same.
Same thing. Then he should pull up his goddamn
Are you
pants the
serious?
same.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous.
And these are like what 22, 23
And I've
year old
told
men.
him so many times.
Sorrel has advanced from the sleeveless T-shirt, though. That he
Yeah,
used
that
to
was
wear
pretty
everywhere.
unbelievable.
Oh,
when
he used to wear
that.
When he
Beater
first started
type
coming
deal?
around, it was always jerseys with
Yeah.
nothing underneath it.
It was hilarious.
Ugh.
It was
I
so
actually
funny.
took a picture of at Commerce. They have a little plaque that says "No tank tops allowed."
Yeah.
I took that and emailed it to him in a picture just as a joke.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, like the rules at the Commerce are followed.
I know,
LA's
right?
friendliest. We also got
You
an
know
email.
what's funny? Oh,
Yeah.
I gotta
No,
throw
no,
this in.
tell
Just
me,
because we're talking about poker fashion.
Yeah,
I remember when I was going to Berkeley actually, and I would drive down to Bay 101 to visit Barry,
yeah. Yeah.
and he would, I say, oh well, Joey, I just want to know what you're wearing, and I'd say, and I'd say, what?
What?
And I say, what are you talking about?
So you guys could coordinate.
No.
Like the mushroom suit in Boomerang.
He wanted to make sure I had a Greenstein sweater going. No. He'd say, Joe, I want to know what you're wearing. I would say, why? Why? I have jeans, I have this, and he's like, well, you need to put on like, a nice button down, put on some, khakis or something, and I'd be like, to visit you in the poker room. So for years I thought this is how people dress in the poker rooms.
What, khakis?
What? Just nice, you had a button down, the whole thing. So
We're
then,
not in Monte Carlo.
exactly. Then I started playing poker. In the first year, I walked in and I saw Phil Ivey in his when he was in his basketball jersey phase.
Right.
And I was like, Barry, these people, and you saw people in shorts, people in tank tops, like Sorrel. I said, Barry, these people,
Hats,
for sure,
exciting things, fun stuff,
The- like
women's attire.
I was like, Barry, these people look like homeless people. Why did you tell me that I had to dress up nicely to come in to visit you?
Because you're visiting BG.
Exactly.
And
But
you
it
can't
was
look like a hooligan.
absurd. It was absolutely absurd.
Ooh, absurd.
Absurd.
The new way to
It's absurd.
That is an intensifier. If you say absurd,
Absurd.
it's even more absurd than regular absurd.
I'm sorry for digressing. Continue.
No, that's okay. I
tried to
actually
throw that in.
enjoy the digressions.
Well, then
It
you're
means you're in a
welcome.
good mood. All right, Chris Bacon also emailed us. He says, hey there, Poker Road. I was catching up on old episodes and heard the episode from June 23rd. And yes, indeed, Eugene Todd himself, the smoke breaker,
Yeah.
did offer my fiance and I $5,000 to name our firstborn after him, and we have totally considered it. They
Really?
have totally considered it. They may be even willing to go for the whole thing
Eugene Todd, bro?
for a little bit more.
No way.
I don't know if bro is included, but Eugene Todd
call
and then
you
whatever.
fatso.
And then the last name. So apparently he's been
That's
emailing in, trying to
hilarious.
get contact information on Eugene.
That's actually a pretty good name, though. Eugene Todd. You don't even have to call him Eugene. You could just call him Todd.
Yeah,
What's wrong
either
with
one.
the name Todd?
I don't know. I didn't say there was anything wrong with it. Who did?
I'd take the 5K for it.
Man, chuck it, Pequot.
So apparently
You
they said
can't go by his initials though. You can't call him ET.
No.
ETB?
No, that's rough. That's rough. Now, they're just taking a guess here, but they figured that from the smell, Eugene at the time was in a somewhat elevated state, if you catch my
But he always
drift.
is.
They said it was
He
great of
usually
him to
is.
take time away from the table or whatever, but now they would like to
Yeah.
get the contact information and discuss this
For
and
Huge?
get serious about it.
Okay,
I think we
hit-
should blog professional like
Here,
the
do this.
baptism or
His
something.
phone number is.
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
Do this. Send me, Ollie, forward me this email, and I
Okay.
will ship it to Eugene Todd and let him handle it.
Okay, cool. He also wanted to mention that he loves all the content on the site. It's been helping him to pay a lot more attention to poker. So, Chris Bacon, you're welcome.
You're welcome, brother.
And we want to thank you in advance for adding another Eugene Todd to God's green earth, because we expect that is going to happen. All right, boys, how about a little toss-up? You into it? You guys
Two
into it?
opinions, one argument.
I like it.
Joe versus Gavin. Toss up.
All right, today's toss-up for $100 American as usual between my two
What do
good
we got to
friends.
do? I don't even understand this game.
They ask us, they say peanut butter or jelly. And then,
Oh,
then
okay.
you discuss
What if we
peanut butter,
agree,
I
though?
discuss
What if
jelly.
we agree? We're not allowed
We
to
don't.
agree?
We're not.
I
Whatever
mean,
you say,
then
I will
whoever has the
disagree
better
with.
argument.
Okay.
Whatever
No,
you say, I will disagree with.
Okay.
But whoever has the better argument is usually how
I hope it's not something brutal like
we want to do this.
like it's living in happiness or killing all humans.
No,
and
it's
you
nothing
say living
like
in
that.
happiness,
It's
and
not
I
that
say
obscure.
support killing all humans.
It's actually the WSOP over-under edition of
All right,
toss-up.
all
The
right.
Okay, I'm in.
WSOP over-under edition. Oh, my God.
All right, Donald Key.
That's it. I quit. All right. 60,000 total individuals that played in a WSOP tournament this year. Over or under?
Who you're asking me?
My
It's not,
first
it's
or
not
your
even
first?
opinion. Go ahead. I don't care. Whoever wants to take control here.
I'm definitely going to go over. There was 55 events. There were 6,000 in the main event.
Okay.
Now that's individual people though, right? Or is
Yep.
that
Yep.
just
In
total?
total
entrants?
individuals. That
In-
played in the
I'm
event.
definitely taking over. I don't even think it's
Okay.
close. I don't even think it's close.
Joe. Now this
Wow.
is a little bit different than usual because it's not ambiguous. We're
Right,
working with hard
right.
numbers here. You can take the over or the under. You don't have to disagree.
So this is not including one person who played. Like I count as one person.
you count as one individual,
60,000.
not an
still
individual
taking
that left a big mark
right
on the series.
That's true.
It's almost like
We can-
half an individual.
I
No,
think-
we cashed once.
We did guess one.
that is Gavin's tagline.
Gavin Seabach and Joe Smith, we guessed one. I'm gonna say, and I think Gavin might be right, but for the sake of disagreeing, I'm gonna say slightly under.
I regret to inform you, G. Smith, that Joseph Seabach is correct. 58,720 people played in the World Series of Poker this
you
year.
cannot beat me in these games anymore. I have taken control.
Well,
Joe-
you just got that because I answered the other way. Don't take so much credit.
Hey, I won.
That's
I'm
still
one.
a lot
No,
of
but
people
he
that
also-
show up
That's
and
only
play.
one. Let's go.
That is only one. That
He
is only
also
one.
mentioned slightly under.
I'm a
just
genius.
just for added emphasis.
I'm
All
a
right.
genius.
Second question, Joe. I will grant you control since Gavin took control right off the top. You have a 1-0 lead here.
Okay.
23 events played at the 2008 WSOP by Phil Ivey.
Yes.
Over or under? Over or under?
I'm gonna say but he did disappear for that amount of time. I'm gonna say slightly under again.
Oh, good. I was really wanted over. I'm gonna take over. There was a lot of times right at the beginning when he had the big bracelet bets. He was playing both events. He was
Right.
in events and still buying in. I'm taking the definite over.
Right, and the definite over is definitely correct.
How much-
G.
how much
Smith
did
has
he bet?
leveled it off. It's over by a few. I believe it was 26,
Yeah.
25?
The
Somewhere in
only
that
reason,
neighborhood.
remember he did kind of disappear for maybe 4 days there, where he didn't play anything.
You
So-
can continue to argue for the incorrect opinion if you'd like, but you will not be awarded a point, mind you.
Can I get a half a point?
We're 2 of 5 questions in, and you guys are knotted up at 1-1.
Right.
Correct.
Gavin, you have control. Over or under? 115 different countries and territories represented in this year's main event. Over or under? 115
That is
different
a lot of
countries.
countries.
I think
And
it's close.
territories.
I think it's close, but since I have no idea how many there are, I'm gonna take under. I'm gonna take slightly under.
Gavin
Over.
with the under. Joe instantly taking the over. You are correct, Joseph. 118 countries.
That's right. I know every country. Do you want me to tell you all?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. List them alphabetical order if you would reverse.
Okay, I was bluffing. Ship you the pot. Go ahead.
Nice. All right. You are up 2-1 going into the fourth question now.
That sucked.
It was a little bit unfortunate. It's okay. All hope is not lost. Joseph, you have control.
Yes.
Question
Make
number
me
4.
come back.
Over or under $20,000 in cashes at the 2008 WSOP for Alan, the Chainsaw Kessler.
Wow.
Over or under
What a number.
$20,000.
Wow, what a number.
Over.
Joe will take the over.
You know what? I really don't recall seeing
I don't
Alan
know at all.
Kessler even cash. I think he cashed in the stud 8 or better in the in the mix.
Right. There was 22 people entered that
but
event.
He did not
18 made the money.
He cashed in that because I was betting on him to miss the money by like 4, and he barely made it.
Right.
But he did not cash a lot. I really don't think he did much. In fact, I think Alan Kessler's number is going to be around about 12,000. I'm saying under.
But let me say this before you answer. I cashed once.
You mean
for
before
16,
Sean
and I got
ding?
16,000. But I guess Gavin's right. But
Gavin is indeed right. $14,257.
That's unbelievable. He cashed.
What a
for less
great
than
World
us.
Series he had.
He cashed for less than us. That's
Well,
unbelievable.
wait. Did he? How many events do you think Chainsaw played?
Oh,
Chainsaw plays everything.
Like
Chainsaw plays
32.
Chainsaw plays everything. He plays everything.
I think he played well.
He doesn't
That's
play the
crazy.
50K, does he?
I think he did play the 50K.
No.
Not this year, but last year.
Last year he
Okay.
played it, not this year? This year he realized that if you're going to only
All
have
right,
14,000 cashes.
I knotted it up
2-2.
2-2,
It
and
is
I have
2-2.
control. And I have control.
And you have control. Is this the final question?
This is the final
Holy
question.
shnikes.
Come on, G.
Gavin, you've been running a little salty in our game segment. Here is the fifth question. Final one. Over or under 150 tables in use when the series was running at full capacity, including Brasilia, Amazon, and Buzios. 150 tables over or under?
I will take way over.
Gavin will take way over.
Can I agree with him?
You can
I
agree with
said
him.
I
If you
wasn't-
guys agree,
No.
if you guys agree, no. If you guys agree, then you have to offer up a number. You can write the number down right now.
Okay, we can do
that
that.
way,
We can do that.
whoever's closer. So
All
you
right.
are going to select the
All
over,
right.
Joe.
Okay.
Can I have my? Can I have
I'm
a
going
piece
to
of
say
paper?
over
Okay,
as
no
well.
problem. He's
I'll
going to
just-
write it down.
he can just
Yeah,
write his
he
and I
writes
should
it
say
down
mine.
and
I'll
you
try.
say yours.
What
Okay,
was
no
it?
problem.
What was the
150 tables over or under. Brasilia, Amazon, and Buzios all combined
I have
full
my-
capacity.
Okay.
150 tables.
And you took an over. So think of
yeah,
your number,
I-
Gavin.
I have
Joseph
a-
is
I
going
have
to
a-
write his down. He has written his down.
I'm going to take 260.
Wow. That
would
is
be
a
2,600
lot.
players. I'm going to take 260.
I said 178.
Actual number of tables in action at full capacity at the Rio, 155 tables. Joseph Seebach.
I
How is that
disagree with that
possible?
number.
It can't be possible because they had events that had 2,600 people. Well, then Nolan Dahl is wrong, and
Still,
I'm not accepting a loss for this.
You can't. You always do this, man. You
Well,
can't
you're
do
the one that was supposed to argue under, so don't say you always do this.
The
okay?
1,500
You changed the rules before anything.
But I so disagreed.
Okay,
I so
well, I'll tell you what.
disagreed on
If
that
you'd
one.
like to file an official protest
I want to file
with Hollywood.
Because how on earth could they
I
have
would-
ever had 2,600 players playing?
Because they chopped it up. Because they had alternates. Oh no,
They
They
didn't
didn't
have
have
alternates,
alternates, and
You're
they
right,
all
you're
started
right.
at the same time.
You're right.
Right.
You're right.
Okay.
Definitely, it cannot be 155.
I'm going to
Nolan
place-
Dahl is wrong unless I miss those events where we played 20-handed.
Now, hang on. Do any of us have Nolan Dahla's phone number?
I do.
I'm sure. Gavin
Why don't we
does.
place a telephone call to Mr. Dalla himself, if you'd like to, Gavin?
Nah, it's too much work.
Now, this is you're placing the official protest, yet you are unwilling to go through the work
I
necessary.
will make the call
to
at some
resolve
point,
it.
but I just will not make it during the show because that doesn't make for
Yeah.
good radio. Apparently, you're forgetting what makes
we
for
don't.
good radio.
No, but we don't have the live phone line anymore.
Right.
Exactly.
That's the unfortunate thing.
Right.
Speaking of which, that live phone line, I believe, ruined one young lady's life.
Oh,
this
God.
Not Jen
this
from
World
Tokyo.
Series.
No,
not Jen from Tokyo. It was.
It was
you know,
Aaron.
It was
Our
Aaron.
friend Aaron.
We won't say whose last name.
But
it
really,
was.
Jeff Madsen ruined her life. It
He
had
did.
nothing to do with. You
So
know.
does she have to get a new number now because you jerks?
Yeah.
It's not us. It was.
No,
because-
it is 100%
No.
you guys.
Oh, stop
Did
it.
you not
No.
think? Well, why on earth would you ever release a
Why
number?
on earth would you ever prank call
That's exactly
co-host for a
it.
radio show?
Yeah, because
that's
she
the real
did.
question.
We
That-
got-
She did.
That's why it's on Madsen.
She should
should
be
be so
mad.
pissed at Madsen.
She should be Jeff Madsen.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not.
I will
Ollie
agree.
Madsen.
I will agree. She should be mad at Madsen, but I think she
Right.
should be equally pissed with you two jerk offs.
All right.
It was
Well,
pretty funny,
we'll
though.
talk to her about it when we see her. PRRadio@PokerRoad.com. The email 877-888-WSOP. The voicemail. We'll be right back with a bit more Poker Road Radio and Freddie D. Welcome back to Poker Road Radio. We're here with a gentleman who has just under $6 million in career tournament cashes, count them three, WPT final tables, including a win at the Ultimate Poker Classic in WPT Season 4, holder of 2 World Series of Poker bracelets, including the most coveted one out there, short of the main event, and some would say even more coveted than the main event, the 50K
Definitely.
horse title. And he is the originator of one of our most used drops here on the show, perhaps his
Barry
greatest
Greenstein.
accolade. That is the one right there. Please welcome Freddie D.
Thank you, thank you.
Freddie, what's up, baby?
Freddie,
Not
we're
much,
here.
man. I'm exhausted. I just finished playing this 15K tournament, but
Yeah.
I'm glad to have what I have.
Yeah, well, how much do you have and how was your day?
98,000. We started with 45, but it's pretty good.
Yeah, 15K
Considering what I've done this month at the World Series, my longest tournament play is 2 hours.
No.
Yes.
The whole World Series, really?
Yes. So I did pretty good. No, actually in the horse I made it to the second day.
Yeah.
But that's like 2 hours for a 6-day tournament.
Right. It's tough, huh? How do you come into this and get focused for this after you have such a shitty World Series? You know, you probably, I'm assuming, don't even want to play poker. Does that happen to you at all?
Well, that happens to me all the time, but you know, you gotta keep trying. You can't give up.
Right.
And that's where the success comes in.
Well, I mean,
you can't give up. What do you mean, man? I mean, come
being
on.
resilient. No, but being resilient is obviously one of the things that we know that you have to be. But how do you deal with it? You know, because I mean, Gavin had a very rough World Series. Joe cashed only once. I mean, what is it that keeps you in the saddle?
We.
You know, I tell you something. In the last 2 weeks, after it kept going on, and the funny thing about it, you know, I never tell no poker stories or anything, but I mean, I think I played about 10 tournaments total the whole month, and it was so funny. It was something unbelievable happening. Sometimes things happen unusual. I went out with a pat hand every time. It's either a set, full house, or a flush. It wasn't like ace king over 2 queens,
right.
You know, or like jacks over queens or something. It was just like where I had a pat hand every time. And a few times, I was so disgusted. I went home. I went to sleep. I wake up in the morning. I exercise. I play with the kids. And before I went to sleep, I said, the hell with it. I ain't playing no more. But when I'm done playing with the kids and exercising and just relaxing, I call up. I say, sign me up.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah, because you get some perspective, right?
That's it. I mean, you know, when you finish, when you do bad and you say, okay, that's it. I can't do it no more. I can't take it.
Right.
But you got to be strong. You got to go out, exercise, eat good, sleep good.
Amen.
And the next day say, wow, that's it, man. I got to go back. I can't give up.
You know what's funny? We talk to a lot of the different pros who come on the show, and it's amazing just how many of them talk about the importance of that, like good sleep, good exercise, good diet stuff. I mean, I guess we can't underemphasize
Listen, I don't know who I told about a month ago. Somebody made an interview with me, and we're talking about these marathon tournaments and this and that. I said, nowadays, you've got to be Muhammad Ali and Einstein at the same time to be able to do good in these tournaments.
It's tough, man. It's just
so that's a good combination, isn't it?
Mental stamina, physical stamina.
You got to have all the above.
And some trash-talking stamina, that's for sure.
Well, no, the trash.
No, I'm talking about Ali, obviously.
No, I mean, you can do all the trash you want, but you still have to be mentally set for what you have to do and physically.
So let's
and
talk.
If you're not.
Go ahead. If you're not.
If you're not, you ain't going to do good. That's the bottom line.
Well, let's talk right now about the event. $15,000 buy-in here at the WPT. Triple stack format. Are you a fan of this? You like starting with 45,000 over 30? I mean, the more the better?
Exactly.
Always.
Because you can afford to take a few bad beats. You can afford to raise a few hands. You can afford to throw away 10,000. I got a penalty today for 10 minutes. I said, no, give me 20 minutes.
No, you did.
I did, I swear. And I got a 20-minute penalty.
For what?
It was you want to hear the whole story?
Sure, of course. We got time.
I had ace queen. I'm first position. I limp him for 600. The lady to my left, Wayne's wife. I don't know his last name.
Okay.
Wayne Boych's wife.
Okay.
Right. She's to my left. We got to talking. A very nice lady, and she's playing very tight. So she raised the pot. I called it. The flop come king 9-9. I check. She check. Next card come an 8. I check. She check. Last card come an ace. I threw 500 out there. The blind is 3 and 600 at the time.
Okay.
And nobody even paid attention that I should have bet 600.
Right. Who cares?
So I threw 500 out there. She threw 5,000. She didn't say nothing.
Okay.
So I turned my hand over. I turned my ace queen over. And as soon as I turned my ace queen over, she went with her cards like this.
Oh, okay. Well, what Freddie's doing right now, he's just flicking his phone with his finger.
Yeah,
like
so she kicked her cards down. They're down towards the mug.
Right.
So now the dealer grabbed the 5,000 and said to her, oh, you have 500. Here, take the 5,000 and give me 500.
Right.
At the same time, I'm saying to her, I thought you had kings full 100%. So she's being nice with me and we're talking. So she reached back and grabbed her hand and turns it over and she does have kings full. I said, wow. I said, you know how lucky you are that we have a bad dealer in the box.
Right, yeah.
Otherwise,
over.
I mean, the guy is trying to give you the 5,000 back to take 500, assuming that you lost the pot.
Right.
You muck your cards. He didn't grab him. And now he says, no, I'm not a bad dealer. You have no ethic. You're no good and this and that. I said, come on, man. I said, you made a mistake. Just apologize. You are a bad dealer.
The mistake meaning that he didn't take her cards immediately and put them into the muck after she flicked them forward.
Right. And to the fact that he's trying to give her the 5,000 back and take 500.
Well, he made several mistakes. He also should have said, Freddie, you need to bet 600.
Right.
You know, that's the minimum bet at that point in the tournament. And he also should have mucked her in. So it sounds like he made several mistakes.
Well, and then also the argument being made he should have given her 4,500 back on the 5K chip out of the pot.
Or he should have just grabbed her cards and then tried to find the change.
And then figure it out. Right. He did everything kind of backwards.
And then I said to her, you're lucky there's a bad dealer in the box.
Right.
Well,
so
you know
he
what?
didn't like that. And he tried to give me some shit. And then I said to him, just fucking shut up, man. And then he said, I'm going to call the floorman. I said, fuck you, call the floorman.
Yep.
And then the floorman came over and said, you got a 10-minute penalty. I said, no, fuck it, give me 20.
Right.
He said, okay, you got it.
Because you're going to earn it, right? If you're going to get it, you're going to earn it.
But you know how bad I was running at that moment? Good thing I took a walk. I had 90,000. I went down to 62,000. That's how bad I was running.
But then the dealer was due to come to our table next, and he got sent out too.
No, because you know why? Because he walked over to your table and he started talking to me from far away after I got the penalty.
No way.
He told Freddie to grow up.
While he was in Gavin's table's box.
No. He was trying to get in Gavin's.
He was waiting. We were next
table.
to
While he's waiting to push.
After I got the 20-minute penalty, he's trying to tell me how unrespectful I am.
Where do they find these people?
So I said to the floor, I said, do I really have to put up with this now, get 20-minute penalty, and I still have to listen
and
to
you
him?
still got to listen to it.
The dealer told Freddie to grow up.
Was it a dealer that we know? That we know well?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You know what? Doesn't
matter who it is.
I'm not going to say his name or
It's not the point,
right,
the dealer or whatever. It's the point. It's just things happen sometimes. But I feel like an idiot too anyway. You know why? Because I go down to the level of somebody that's not too smart sometimes. It's not good. You got to be smart.
Yeah. Sure.
So I give everybody an advice next time to keep their mouth shut. That's what I should have done.
Definitely.
And not aggravate myself and argue. What happened, and forgot about it. But I aggravated myself. I mean, I even went out to the bar.
Yep.
I had a cigar out there and I'm drinking. I'm smoking my cigar. I'm sitting outside at the bar. 2 minutes later, the floorman come to me. He says, excuse me, Freddie. People inside are smoking about the cigar smoking. It's a bar where they sell the cigar.
Right.
And you can smoke.
Wow.
I said, you know what? I will be nice. I'm going to put my cigar out. It's okay.
Right.
Wow. I might have put it out on the guy's suit. That's tilt-worthy right there. I'm at the cigar bar outside the tournament. It's bad enough you just gave me a 20-minute
The poker
penalty.
god was looking over me.
Well, I guess so, right?
You know why? Because when I came right back, I didn't even look at my first hand. I just raised in the dark. I made 2,500 to go. The blind is 3 and 600. And this guy that I haven't beat a pot all night long, call. The flop come ace 4-4. I check in the dark. I don't even know what I got. He bet 3,000. I look. I got 9-4.
Oh, that's nasty.
And I won like 35,000 in the hand.
And of course he had an ace.
I don't know what he had. I
he
check
called you
raised
down.
him, and I bet on the turn. I bet on the river, and that's how I went back from 60 to 100.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk a little bit about this. Obviously, you've been known to be one of the more emotional guys out there
Emotional?
in poker.
What are you talking about?
Well,
I'm not
I mean,
emotional, man.
You know,
Listen, can I tell you something? I don't give nobody a hard time. The only problem with me is when I know you're wrong, I won't give up.
Right.
I
You
will.
won't stand
I
down.
will make my point.
Well, I mean, you play in some of the biggest cash games around. I mean, it's been rumored that you've been playing some very big no-limit games as of late. Do you care to talk about some of this? And specifically, what I wanted to know is how difficult is it to maintain your composure? I mean, these $100,000 pots, $200,000 pots, and bigger, getting pushed back and forth, and guys giving you bad beats and this and
Hey,
that.
listen, I lost $500,000 this month. I don't have a problem with nobody.
Not in one pot.
No, never.
Right.
I never had a problem with a dealer or a player. Never.
Until today.
I said nice hand.
Right.
But
well, how do you do that, though? I mean, there's a lot of
Why?
younger guys who are listening
doesn't matter.
to the show.
I even got slow rolled 3 times one day. I still didn't have a problem with it. The guy bet me 25,000. I called him. He went like this. I called him with an ace and deuce to 7 pot limit.
Yep.
He went like this.
With his hands, he
went like this.
Right. And
so I assume my ace was good.
Right.
And then he turned me 9 over.
Oh man.
But he was a tourist, so I just said nice hand.
But the reason why is because he's a professional. Like even today, he had an altercation
Thank
with the
you.
dealer. I'm sure he'll come back in on Monday. The same.
But I feel like an idiot.
But the same
no,
guy.
No, even now, if I see him outside,
Right.
I say, man, listen, I'm sorry. All I wanted is an apology from you.
The same guy will sit in the box and you'll be
But,
fine.
you
with it.
know-
It's not gonna carry on. Sometimes you get emotional, you get upset, and whatever happens.
It's better to take
gone.
it out sometime and let things out of your system. Say what you have to say. with respect. And I think I had respect, but to the fact that I used the F word, so what's the big deal?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I didn't call him any names.
Freddie's like a hockey
I just
fight.
said, what the fuck is going on? I didn't say, you motherfucker. There's a difference. No, I mean, there's a big difference.
There's a difference.
There's a big difference, you know?
Apparently, Shronk agrees as
But
well.
this is the last time I used the F word. I promise you.
So there you go.
Oh, I want to bet on that.
How much you want to bet?
Over what period of time?
You name it. Do I have a chance to win, though?
Hey, maybe you should take the other side.
Is
too,
it the honor system?
Gavin's got a big.
Wow.
Gavin's got a big bet going.
Honor system, whichever one. Okay, yeah, honor system. I'll bet you. I'm not drinking until November 6th. You put up whatever you want, and I'll bet you cannot not say fuck until November 6th at the poker table. Off the poker table, say it all you want.
Okay, if I say it, I'll buy you a cognac.
I'm
Louis
not
the
drinking.
13.
I'm not drinking though.
And if I don't, when you start drinking?
We start drinking
okay.
again. Okay, we'll do that.
Okay.
And then if I don't say it, I'll say you owe me Louis the 13.
You got it.
$1,300 a shot.
Okay, you got it. So $1,300. All right.
Freddie, a cognac connoisseur.
No cash. You
Shot.
gotta buy the $1,300 shot.
Yeah.
Oh, you can buy a bottle. It's all right.
All right. All right. So you got to not say fuck at the table. It's the honor system. You have to
Not at
say
the
fuck
table,
at the
anywhere.
table. No, at the table.
At the table. Okay.
Okay, at the table before till November 6th.
You got it.
All
You
right.
guys witnesses?
We got it. We got it locked down.
Okay.
We got it locked down.
Freddie's clearly a cognac connoisseur, also a poker
So you're
connoisseur.
gonna have spies walking around me?
No,
go
I
ahead.
trust.
He's gonna have people messing with you,
No,
trying to get you to.
No,
see
I
it.
trust you.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, so I was just talking about, you know your cognac, you know your poker as well, and you know more than one form of the game, obviously, having won the 50K
I'm not
horse.
a drinker now. Don't talk about no cognac. I drink once a while, maybe once a month, man.
No problem. We're
Okay.
not labeling
I'm not
you.
an alcoholic.
Just, you know.
We're
but
not
you,
saying that.
You know, relax. We know that you know
I'm
your
relaxed.
cognac.
I'm just making
know
things.
your
I'm
cognac.
letting things straight. You know what I mean?
There you go. All right, but you
Gavin,
obviously-
tell him, man. Tell him.
He's not an alcoholic, dick.
Tell him.
Oh, okay, there it is.
Okay.
All right, obviously you know your poker as well. One of the reasons being you've won this $50,000 horse title. You know more than one form of the game. Talk to me about the evolution of mixed games and how they've come into the scene now, and it seems like every big limit game is a mixed game. Why are you guys playing mix? Is it better? Is it worse? And what games are your favorites and why?
Well, we always played mix, but to the fact that all the new players, you know, hear and listen and read about how prestigious it is to win the horse tournament. So now they're all trying to play horse. And I give him credit, they're trying. It might be costing him money, but it's okay with me.
Well, I mean, look at guys like Tom Dwan, Durr, online. I mean, phenomenally successful young man who had played maybe 7 minutes of deuce to 7 triple draw.
Right.
Was it no limit? One draw? No, one draw. It was the one
Single
draw,
draw, yeah,
single
single
draw, no limit. And then he ends up making it as deep as he does. I mean, are you guys at all worried that these kids are starting to catch
There's
up?
nothing to worry about. When you're a good player, you're a good player.
Yeah.
In my opinion, you can play any poker game. You can just make up any poker game you want, and you take any good player, you explain it to them for 1 minute or two. If they're good card players, they're card players.
Yeah.
They're going to play it well.
But let's face it, making a living playing
So,
poker,
I mean,
gentlemen.
Tom is a good player. So,
Right.
you know.
I don't know. I don't know if necessarily Freddie agrees with me here, but I think deuce to 7 is a really bad example too. The no limit deuce to 7 is a bad example because that's a poker game. No limit deuce to 7 is all about poker. It's more than just like cards. It's people. That's a people game.
Right.
It's probably more poker in that than there is in no limit hold'em. I would say.
You
by
can say
far.
that. You can say that again.
Yeah.
I mean, no limit deuce to 7. I think is the most skillful game. And
Single draw.
yes, the single draw is the most skillful game of all poker games.
Why?
In
Why
terms
is
of
it most-
reading and in terms of
Because there is,
assessing your
it's
opponents,
not
right?
easy to make a hand. There is so much bluffing. There is so much reading that you can get about your opponent. I mean, there is so much. It's not all about making your hand. I mean, once you get that information about every player and the way they bet, the way they behave, the way they look, the way they do things, you know, it's phenomenal. You have no idea how strong that game is if you have a good read on people when you look at him.
So is that one of the reasons why you guys aren't worried that some of these young guys that have been sitting in front of their computer screens and learning the numbers and the math behind the game and now just coming into live poker are going to cut into your
You
earn?
keep talking about worried. Worry about what, man? I mean, come on.
Well, you're making a
I mean,
living.
there is like 20,000 poker players that come to the World Series, right?
But not all of them are in
Well,
Bobby's
so
room.
what? Let 10% of them be good.
Mhm.
Okay.
And So
that
how
makes
about
it that
how
much
about the other
harder.
90%? What?
But that makes your job that much harder when more and more good players
come on. You know,
out.
one thing about the poker game is, you know what the beauty of the poker game is? Me and you can walk in now in that 2-on-5 blind no limit game, and you can take every player in that game, and there's not one of them there they don't think that they're the best player.
Really? You think that's what it is? The ego gets
Well,
in
which
the
No,
game.
no, it's not the ego. Poker is something about poker that everybody that plays poker, even if they play for a week or 2 weeks, they think they're the best players that ever walked around.
That is true.
Nobody,
Really?
you know,
Really?
there
I
is
think
so
it's true.
like
Well-
Gavin. I mean, here you sit there, listen, and you see somebody has got aces, kings, or whatever winning hands. They will win 15,000 with those hands. I will win 52.
$52,000.
What I'm saying is, I will win 50,000
and,
at
and
least.
more and more and
I
more
win three
importantly,
times the money they would win with the same hand.
in the same game.
But even more important than that is when they're not good, Freddie will lose a lot less with aces
exactly.
and kings than
and vice
than
versa.
the bad
Very
players.
good. Yes. You know what I'm saying? So it's not just about, you know, being having the patience, playing the right cards. It's all about. It's actually. I mean, if we're gonna go into it in details. I mean, I've said this over and over again. You can be the best poker player in the whole world and have zero money, and you can be just an okay player and have a lot of money.
Right.
It's a combination of money management, doing the right things, playing the right games, play the right time.
Right.
When I say do the right thing, just ask yourself every day before you do anything, whether it's playing poker or whatever it is am I doing the right thing?
Well, there's so much more to it than just playing poker, like you said.
Well, that's
there's
what
so
I'm
much
saying.
more that goes into
It's
it.
management.
Right, of
management.
But it's so funny that you guys mentioned management because that looks to be one of the weaker suits in so many talented players' arsenals.
Definitely.
But
I mean,
that's why a lot of times people say to me, why are you sitting there playing with Chip and Doyle and Lyle? Before even TV came around, I would sit there, play with Chip, Doyle, Lyle,
Well,
and,
why
and,
are
and
you?
Bobby. You know why? Because they have a lot of money. And they didn't care about putting 50,000 in the pot, drawing, or with the 10th nuts when they thought I was drawing.
So what you're saying is you think that that's an easier lineup to play against then?
Certain games, yes, sure it is. That's why sometimes playing the biggest game in the house is not the worst thing to do. You know, sometimes I walk in with 50,000 in my pocket. And the biggest game is 50,000 buying. But I think I can win $500,000 in that game, and it's a lot easier to beat that game than going and playing 3 and 600 where I can manage my money and maybe play for 2 days before I lose the 50,000. But if I sit in that big game, I'm losing in one hand. But it's a lot easier to win $500,000 in that game.
Well, you're not going to win $500,000 playing 3 and 600.
Exactly.
Obviously.
So
Right.
it's a better shot to go in the big game and lose the 50,000 than get aggravated and play 3 and 600 for 3 days or 3 months to win the $500,000, and you ain't gonna make it most of the time.
Right.
So just go to the big game. If you're gonna gamble with that 50,000, you know his dad does that a lot, man. He knows.
It makes,
I mean,
of course, because you know there is a big difference. I understand what you're saying, because you're taking a bigger risk for the bigger upside. You know, it's more important for you. Of
yeah. I
course,
mean, if
you
you're
want
gonna
that
gamble with
shot.
50, if you got
Exactly.
50 to gamble with, well, go to where you can win the most with it.
Yeah, you want that shot to make that 500,000.
But that 50 in your pocket is not your whole bankroll, Freddie. So that's the point to make.
It might be all the money I got in my pocket.
In your pocket,
no,
but
right,
not in your
right,
life.
Right. It's just like I say.
It's
just like I say when I say I'm broke.
I'd
The
bet
definition of broke to me is.
I'd bet though that through your life that the 50,000 he's put on the table has been all he's had at time from time.
No,
to time.
yeah, that's all I had. Yeah.
Sure.
But when I mean it's the definition of like to me is let's say I walk in a poker room and all I got is 50, and the buy-in is 100 for that game. I feel like I'm broke, and that's what's broke to me is. You know,
Not having enough. Right on. Well, listen,
Exactly, you know.
obviously you've managed your aggravation throughout your career, as well as today with the unfortunate incident between you and the
no,
dealer.
it's okay. It's no big deal. It's just another, it's just another example that things happen sometimes. We all make mistakes. We all get stubborn, and that's life.
All right. Well, we look forward to you handling that, life, the rest of your poker career, and this tournament as we set you free to move into a day 2. Freddie, thanks so much for
I
joining us.
hope to see you at the final table, and that's my plan.
Likewise.
Mine too.
All right, guys. We'll be right back with more
Gavin.
Poker Road Radio.
How about you, buddy? How much you got in chips?
117.
170. What the hell?
117.
Oh, 117. I said that. Did you bring chips with you from home or something? Good job. Good luck. Thank you.
Wearing my root to the stars, glorious icons. This is what
Welcome back for more Poker Road Radio. Shrunk, the Hig, the Cub, the Caveman, and yours truly, Hollywood. How about Freddie D, boys? He's a funny guy.
I love Freddie D.
I really like Freddie.
He is an absolute hysterical, no holds barred. He is himself, and he's not apologizing for it. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
definitely not. I actually enjoyed it. It was refreshing to have a guest come after me like that.
We haven't had him on since last year when he won the horse, and he came on.
The day after, no less.
The day after, completely soused, completely wasted.
I think he was a little bit soused today.
I believe
but
he was as
just
well.
a baby soused. That day, he was like, we
Was
asked
that
him
the
a
year?
question.
Was that time he gave us like his 7 rules for success, and like 3 of them were almost the same?
Yeah, it was madness. And like,
Well, I think that you need a game selection, and number 1, and I think number 3, you need to pick a good game.
it'd be
And
amazing.
number 6, I think that playing against opponents that you can beat is smart.
It's a good thing.
Well,
and somebody would ask me a question, like somebody would be, I think at the time it was Stapleton. Stapleton would be like, "Well, Freddie, how do you feel about winning the horse event? How do you
think I feel?"
And then Freddie would be like, "I will tell you this. Okay, when I started my business back in 1984, it was a good day." And everyone would just be.
And you're looking at him like, what?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
No, everybody was just amazed at how profound he could be.
Yeah.
Such a succinct statement.
It was like the 9-alarm dumpster fire lost episode of Poker Road
It was
with
pretty
Bobo
funny.
and Gavin when I asked Gavin that
God.
question like twice, and he'd answered something completely didn't have anything to do with it. It was hilarious.
Thank God I was sick that day. I would have had a heart attack. Thank
I
God
don't
was
remember
sick
that day.
I
But
think
hey,
heads would have rolled.
I will not have any more days like that until November the 6th.
You will not, and we
Yeah.
are very proud of you, and we hope that you collect a nice big fat payday.
Yep.
As well as 4 months of.
By the way, whoever sent me that email, I can't remember his name, but it got forwarded on to me. Thank you.
Good on you.
Appreciate
Yeah, man,
appreciate
people
that
are
guy.
pulling for you.
Oh,
People
man, they're
are
super pulling for you.
I've had
Appreciate that
multiple
guy.
people come up to me and be like, "Man, I'm so stoked Gavin's going to do this. It's going to be so great for him."
You know what sucks? In contrast to pulling for Gavin, people are trying to freaking kill my colon. I mean, they are emailing in about talk about.
You guys are jerks for that, though. You guys
Okay.
really are jerks.
I
you guys
never
have both
agreed
accepted
to
the
do
bets,
that.
and
No,
you.
no one accepted. I will go back and listen to
He
the show.
maybe did,
Nobody
but I did
accepted
not.
the
You
bet.
definitely accepted.
I said, you know what? I really want to do this. I said, I really want to do this. Oh God.
Fuck it. Let's do. I'll do the bet.
Put me on
Yeah.
You're
I'll
gonna
do
do
the
it?
bet if you'll do it.
Yeah.
I'll do the bet if you'll do the
Oh
bet.
no, I'm not gonna do it at 43 because I'm
Because
drawing
I
dead.
don't want to do the bet. I don't
want
want
to draw dead. Let's make it exciting. Let's make it exciting, damn
Okay,
it. I'd rather put on a mankini.
$39.
I'd rather put on a damn mankini.
39.
$39. We'll put up money, and
No,
if you
39.
lose,
I'm drawing dead.
Come on, man.
We came over to your house with $36 to Taco Bell the other day, and I almost barfed on $7.
Wait.
Are you kidding
We've
me?
literally dropped it $13 now.
I can't do
Okay,
it.
here's
I'm
the deal.
telling you.
Here's
I
the-
realized that I
here's
was.
the- 3 hours.
I realized that I was dreaming.
Here's the deal. $34. If you do it, we will give you a combined $600. So we're gonna put $300 each. If you don't, you wear the mankini.
Ooh. Okay, I'm going to take that under review. I need a
Nice.
night's sleep on that.
Very nice call.
34, 600 or mankini.
34, man. That's a big drop.
But it was a suck and resuck situation.
Yeah. All right, guys. Don't forget plenty of other PokerRoad.com content, including Big Poker Sundays, which we'll be filming right here inside the Bellagio tomorrow. 2 Jacks, Poker Mind, Blockfessionals, Life of Ivy, and of course the lovely Amanda Leatherman on WorldPokerDraw.com, where you
I'm
can
proud
get
of her.
all
I'm
of
so
your
proud
latest
of her.
chip counts and sign up to play real money poker if you are outside the friendly confines of the
WP
U.S. of A.
Tizzle.
You know this.
Doc
Don't
Tizzle.
forget to use bonus code ROAD when you're loading
Yes.
that up so that we
Please.
can get paid.
Yep.
All right, jump on MySpace and add us. Joseph, good luck to you in the action
Thank you,
tomorrow.
man.
We will be back mañana with more Poker Road Radio. This is Hollywood on behalf of everybody saying so long. Peace.
He was like apples, oranges, bananas, and you're like, oh, score!
No, I mean,
your fault.
it's okay if you guys want to curse.
No,
We're just
no,
talking
no.
about the intro.
We don't want to curse.
No, you can curse all you want.
No, we want to look like gentlemen.